What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to High School Never Ends, a Pop Punk Dad podcast. I am Wingman Steve.
And I'm Chris 183. Steve, it is Alt-ober, one of my favorite times of the year. Wait, how could it be my favorite times of the year? We've never done Alt-ober. Yeah, we did Alt-ober, didn't we?
Yeah, we did Alt-ober. Yes.
Okay.
Second edition.
Then I don't take that back. It is Alt-ober, ladies and gentlemen, my favorite time of the year. This is where we get to talk about music that's a little bit off-brand for High School Never Ends, the show. Guys, we get to talk about alternative music, and if you are anything like us, you grew up in a time that was rich with a bunch of alternative music that was all over the radio, that was, in my case, all in my visor, my CD visor. It was chocked full of alternative music. This is what we had. This is what we listened to. And we get to talk about it this month. And Steve, this is a very, very, very special one because I personally have been waiting to talk about this album since it came out, that I bought on the day that it came out, since 1997. Can you believe it?
We're talking about Breaking Benjamin?
We're not. That didn't come out in 1997, I don't think.
Oh, it didn't? I thought it did.
No, I thought that was like more like 2000-ish, but and I didn't really love Breaking Benjamin at first either. They're okay. But no, this is the band live, and for any of you, again, that are in our same age range-ish, you know the band live. You've heard of the band live. You know songs like I Alone and Selling the Drama. But maybe you don't know some of the songs that are on the album we're going to talk about today. Maybe you do. They were still all over the radio. We're going to talk about an album by the name of Secret Samadhi. And this actually was the follow-up to the smash hits Throwing Copper. And Steve, when I told you we were going to do Secret Samadhi versus Throwing Copper, I feel like you didn't necessarily love that choice. Can you talk about that for a second?
I think it was probably the wrong choice, but it's your choice, so I'm okay to do it. But, you know, if we're talking about live, I mean, this is, you know, one of those bands where they had like a bunch of hit singles on the radio. And I figured if we were going to talk about an album, we would talk about an album where people knew like any of the songs, not like none of the songs on an album that was basically like a secret. I think that's why it's called Secret Samadhi, because nobody knew about it, right?
No, untrue. So if you think about it, the popularity of Throwing Copper was astronomical. I think probably about 3/4 of the album was a single on the radio. This band just completely blew up. And what happens when that happens is people are eagerly anticipating the follow-up album to that. Now, Throwing Copper wasn't their first album. They had one before that, but definitely was their most... Yeah, well, the only one that I know of is Operation Spirit. The one before that is not one that I can remember. Was it Operation Spirit? I could be misspeaking.
What I found was 89, they had one called The Death of a Dictionary, and 91, They had one called Mental Jewelry.
Oh, Operation Spirit's a song, so Mental Jewelry, my bad.
Okay.
I get them conflated, but I didn't have that. I didn't have those. I did go back and listen to Mental Jewelry after the fact, but I never bought the album. However, again, bought Throwing Copper, loved it. Obviously, the rest of the world did too. But when you have an album like that that catches fire like it did, again, people are looking forward to what's next. And I bet any money that there is a large population of individuals that loved live that went out and bought Secret Samadhi.
Live, laugh, love, live.
And listen, no. If you think about the singles from this album, it had a decent amount of them. Maybe not as many as Throwing Copper, but it had them. And it tried to do some different things, and I actually appreciated a lot of the things they tried to do musically with this album versus Throwing Copper. So, anyway, we'll get into that in a little bit. But my choice here wasn't just to go with the softball pitch. I wanted to go with something a little bit different. And I wanted to go with something that I had more of a connection with. This show's all about connections, Wingman Steve. And I had a connection with this album because this came out the year that I graduated high school. I was in the prime of my high school career. And obviously, there's a lot of things during that time period you never forget. And so one of the things that I never forget is having this album and playing it over and over and over again. So,
yeah, I definitely had Throwing Copper because probably like a lot of, MTV 90s kids, the videos, the song, they were everywhere. And they weren't a band that I like loved. They're like, this is my favorite band or anything like that. But I did enjoy, and I still enjoy the songs that were on the radio. But no, I had no idea about Secret Samadhi. When you picked the album, I was like, is that the album? Like that's that song, Lakini's Juice or something like. So
yes.
I knew the name of the song, Lakini's Juice, but when I listened back to it, I don't know that I really remembered the song at all. I don't think I remembered any songs. I don't think I heard them. I don't think they were on MTV when I was watching or on rock radio. Maybe they just didn't grab people as much as the singles from the last one, but I'm coming in pretty fresh with Secret Samadhi.
It's not Samurai. But you never heard Freaks? That was a big hit. Also, Turn My Head was everywhere too. That was the ballad hit. So, I mean, those are the three that really stick out to me as singles. There may have been another one, and you may actually have that information. But, I pulled some other songs off this album, but there was nothing better than really looking forward to this album and hearing those first several riffs of Lakini's Juice. I was in automatically when I heard that. I just thought that was so great. Like that riff just hooked me right away, and I was back all in on live and really wanted to hear the rest of the album. And so looking forward to talking about it.
And this is a band that both of us, we saw live. We saw live with Bush. We saw Bush live and live. And so we were at that same concert, different cities though, right? A couple of years ago?
We did. And that was the first time I ever saw both of those bands.
I think me too.
I thought that both of those bands, dude, that was probably like 5 years ago now though, right?
I mean, it was definitely pre-COVID, so it must have been 19 or 18, something like that.
I was much younger then. It was before the show, right?
18, 19 would have been before the show. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, wow. We weren't even doing this yet. But you gotta believe that, or you gotta admit that both Gavin Rossdale and Ed Kowalczyk and the band too, like they both sounded amazing. They both sounded very similar to what we remember with these bands growing up, which was astounding because these guys are they're probably older than us.
Definitely.
And live had a lot of turbulence over the years. They definitely were not a band for a while, and they may not be a band again now. I don't know. I can't remember what the story was.
They are, but he fired everybody. Ed Kowalczyk I get the impression. So I get the impression from seeing them live. I hate the name of this band. Saying live and searching for it. It's annoying. But anyways, I got the impression when I saw the show that this guy takes himself like real serious, like very serious. I kind of thought that Bush is a bigger, I don't know, maybe that's just subjective and I could be wrong. I just kind of thought Bush and Gavin Rossdale had more, I don't know, mainstream stuff. And I kind of, in my head, would have thought they would close the show. But then in my head, Ed got on with his agent and he was like, yeah, I want to do this show, but no fucking way we're closing. We are the closers. We earn this. I alone close the fucking show. Like, I get the impression that, again, he takes himself and just his facial expressions, the way he sings, the way he conducts himself. And then reading this stuff, he does seem like a kind of a madman. He left the band in 2009. They replaced him and recorded an album without him. Then he rejoined in 2016. Then in 2022, like legally, he gets like 55% control of the band and then fires, what's his name? Taylor, Chad Taylor, the lead guitarist, who was one of the original members. So I get the impression that, he's just a man on a mission and, good for him, I guess. But I got a weird impression of him and I liked Bush a little better, but they did do a good show.
I like them both. I definitely think live is a little bit bigger, though. I think you're probably thinking of Gwen Stefani. That's why you're thinking Bush is bigger.
I don't know. I just feel like Bush had like 4 or 5 years where I was still hearing their stuff. And you listen, you claim to have heard this stuff on the radio, which I'll give that to you. I didn't. So I feel like live kind of just had Throwing Copper, and that was Shittown on that. Yeah, Shittown was on that record, right?
Shittown was on Throwing Copper, yes.
Yeah. So to me, they just had that one big ass record, and I just, in my mind, Bush had more longevity. But that's totally subjective.
That's the song that comes to your mind of all their songs. You think of Shittown.
No, I was just trying to think if I knew any songs not on Throwing Copper because, yeah, and I thought maybe Shittown was on a different record, but
no.
Then I realized.
So you make me feel even better about choosing this because I wanted to expose you to something a little bit different that you had not listened to before. So you're welcome in advance. Okay.
Okay.
And I think that you're going to be pleasantly surprised from the guys that actually live somewhere in between, or lived or from somewhere in between you and I. Isn't that correct?
It's much closer to me, but yeah, they're from York, Pennsylvania. It's probably about an hour and a half from where I live. I've been there on a couple of occasions. But that's why I made that joke in kind of comparing them to Breaking Benjamin, because they're also from Pennsylvania. They're also that kind of, rock, whatever you call it, with the deep voice. They're from Wilkes-Barre, so different part of the state, but still.
So different. It's so different.
I have one friend who's like obsessed with Breaking Benjamin because he grew up in that area, and like I talked to him, and I'm really not trying to make fun of him, but I am kind of inherently like, oh, you like Breaking Benjamin? Like, did they have any songs other than The Diary of Jane? Like, I didn't know.
Oh yeah. They've actually, it's funny if you go back, and I don't want to get too far into the weeds on Breaking Benjamin, but if you go back and you listen to, I listened to a whole thing on it wasn't a podcast, but it was a YouTube show. And they did a history of the band, and you'd be surprised how many songs that you actually know and have heard from not just those first couple albums, but all of them. But we'll talk about that band another time. But it seems like, Middle Pennsylvania is a hotbed for bands.
Rock alternative bands in the 80s and 90s.
So, yeah, I mean, outside of that, any other history on the band live that you have there that you want to share with the listeners?
No, again, I'm like an ancillary fan of live. The songs come up on the pop rocks in the 90s on 9, and I don't turn them off. But again, I think, and I owned Throwing Copper and liked it, but I don't think that I got into anything else after that. I'll have to take a look and see if there's any non-Throwing Copper songs that I know. But the album itself did pretty damn well. I think you said it best when it's the anticipation, right? So it came out February 18th, 1997. It debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200. It sold 2 million records, so that's a double platinum album. It was put out on Radioactive Records. It was produced by Jay Healy and Live, so they had a hand in recording it themselves. And that's really everything that I was able to research.
Well, what we can look at, and something I want to talk about, is the Spotify streams, and we'll play our game like we normally do. But I'll tell you what, like I was looking at it, and why is it coming up with? Oh, because it wants to give me the rock mix for live. I don't want a rock mix. I want the band.
Yeah, it's hard to like search for them and look at stuff. You have to.
No, it was the rock mix with a live theme. It wasn't live. I don't mind the name of the band. I liked it. What's the difference? It even has a little line over the I, so it's not live.
It's a hard I.
So
thank you guys.
Thanks, think about when the heyday of this band was, and when streaming became a thing, and also when this band started to, I don't want to say tail off, but maybe people, weren't as into their music as much. I stayed with this band pretty much through, I'm taking a look at the albums here. I gotta say through like 02, like upwards of like the early 2000s, but that may have been the majority of albums. Like, I don't own Birds of Prey in 2002. I don't know what Songs from the Black Mountain is. That might be a live album, but I have most of them before that, except for the first two. So maybe I should just whatever. But anyway, my point is that streaming wasn't necessarily a thing until what, early mid 2000s. When did streaming become a thing?
Well, it depends what you're talking about streaming. If you're talking about
Like-
digital downloads, it was
Yes.
probably around 2005, like downloading songs on iTunes. But I mean, like the real streaming kind of the way it is now, I think was, closer to 2010, most likely.
So if you think about it, like this band, the majority of their work, the body of their work was in arrears by the time you hit that point. So people had to go and find them or be a fan of them from before in order to start to stream them. So there were a lot of people that probably were into this band. They had the CDs, they listened to them. For whatever reason, maybe they didn't translate over to streaming right away. But my point is that you look at the streaming numbers, and they're not really incredibly high for a band that was this popular. I'm not saying they're low, but for the tenure of the band, for the popularity of the music, there was videos all over MTV. I would have thought that some of these songs would have higher streams, but it could just be a timing issue. So, Steve, with that said, and for all of you out there that love this segment, which I know it's catching fire, I know it's catching on, I know it is, Steve, we're going to play Guess That Number of Streams in order on Spotify today.
Still working on the name of the segment, but it's good. I like it.
That's the name.
Okay.
Why can't we go with that name?
It was good. It was just a little.
Did you write it down?
It didn't.
You didn't write it down.
No. You're doing the segment. You should write it down.
Okay. So, but when I'm doing a segment, you take the notes, and then when you're doing the thing, I take the notes. I thought that's the way it goes.
Oh, all right. Okay. Now that we're on the same page, let's play the game.
What do you think? And I will give you some. I want to do just top 5, like how many you can get in 5 guesses. So why don't we just do that? So I have the top 5 in front of me. Top 5 tracks.
These are the ones that they are showing you that include the streams in the past 30 days.
These
That's how
are,
they rank them,
according
usually.
to the game that we're playing right now, these are the top tracks of all time streamed for live.
Okay. So you want me to guess which songs they are?
I want you to guess, see if you can guess the top 5, and I will give you 5 guesses, and let's see how many of them you can get.
Okay. So I Alone,
That's 1.
Lightning Crashes,
That's 2.
All Over You.
That's 3.
Man, that I might be at the. I mean, I don't think it's Shit Town. What's the other one? Selling the Drama.
That's 4. You got 1 more.
Let's throw Likini's Juice in there.
Unfortunately, it's not Lakini's Juice. It is actually the Dolphins Cry
Oh, okay.
off of the album that comes right after Secret Samadhi, The Distance to Here. And what's funny is that before The Distance to Here came out, they put out this, I read this article where that they were going to change the face of music as we know it with the new album that's coming out.
That
And
sounds
that
like
album-
something that him and his PR people would put out.
I did not feel like they did that with A Distance to Here. I thought Secret Samadhi was better, so whatever. But I was waiting for something mind-blowing. I didn't get it. However, that was really good. And the number 5 most streamed is The Dolphins Cry at 49 million streams and some change. I'll just round. Selling the Drama was number 4 at 83 million.
How does that one go again?
I gotta get the tune in my head. And to love
Okay,
a
got
gone,
it. That's all I needed.
and to fear. Okay. 3 was I Alone at 104 million. All Over You was number 2 at 79 million.
Lightning Crashes.
I don't want to hear it. And number 1 was Lightning Crashes at 225 million, 42,276. So people like that. I will say that at a pool party this summer, we had to shut everything down because of lightning, and I put this song on
Nice. Very well done.
while we played some beer pong outside. Cup pong for the kids.
Oh, okay.
But I was
Nice.
drinking beer. So, but that's the game, Steve, and this is the album. So, anything else before we dive headfirst into Secret Samadhi? Well, let me ask you this: do you even know what Secret Samadhi means? Do you know what that is? Or do you care?
I take it it's some sort of like a Hindu god, or is it a temptress or something like that?
So in my research, I did not find anything that identified specifically what it was. I think it was a bunch of just Reddit nonsense, and it all pointed to something tied to the Hindu religion. Samadhi means something. Somebody said secret is because that logo on the front of the album can be seen two different ways. If you turn it upside down, it's still a face that's smiling. If you turn it at the right side up, it's frowning. I don't really know if that's true or not. I mean, it is true. I looked at it, but ultimately it really meant nothing to me in 1997 other than it was just the name of the album. And to be honest with you, on the CD cover, you couldn't even see it because of the glare off the front.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't even really tell. So to me, it was just a black front that said live, Secret Samadhi, which was fine. But there is a lot of stuff that we're going to talk about in this album that, Steve, makes no sense to me. And I'm kind of depending on you to talk this out because I've been waiting again to talk this stuff out for a long time, maybe just short of 30 years.
Wow.
So
I have been waiting short of 30 minutes to talk about this album.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's too bad. That's too bad. I'll have a lot more to say, but maybe the fresh take is something that will crack the code on these things that I don't understand. So let's go ahead and dive right in then. Let's kick things off with Rattlesnake. And look, I have a lot to say, but I want you to start. I want to give you the keys to the car. So, Steve, Rattlesnake.
Rattlesnake. This is the second song in 2 weeks of Alt-ober that starts about talking about hanging out at a mall. I mean, live kind of just they sound like them. They have a unique sound. They have this whole like dark vibe to them. I think the song fits it perfectly. I like the chorus. I think it's catchy. It's memorable. And it's a crank. His voice. I don't know. I like his voice. It's interesting. I had to Google a few words and things here. Will lay the flowers at the grave of Jesco White. I had to Google that. That was some sort of entertainer. Laughing gas and ennui. Ennui. Do you know what that word means?
Isn't ennui? This has something to do with like? Oh my god! I know what ennui is. I'm looking it up. But
it's jerky. No,
it's a
not
feeling
jerky.
of weariness and dissatisfaction, boredom. Yes.
Yeah. I think there's also this whole like the deer and the deer. Like my deer, but he's talking about skinning deer. I don't really get that, but not the same widespread appeal, I don't think, as like the I Alone and the Lightning Crashes, but it's close enough. It's close enough that I actually like this one. This was the fourth single. I think this is closer maybe to some of their other the Throwing Copper stuff, but that's just my opinion.
Sure. I don't think you're wrong there. I love the first couple strums of the guitar that kind of lead into this. Actually, I like the quietness of the beginning. It explodes into that ring, like that big just riff over and over again, and then it gets slow, and then they kind of take it easy for the verse, and then they kick it back up for the chorus. They do that a couple times here throughout this album. Actually, probably more than a couple times. It seems to be the formula for live in a lot of ways, but they do it well. It keeps the interest, and in this song, it definitely does. Now, this isn't a kick-ass, like high tempo song that, a lot of times we get all excited about on this show, but it definitely sets the tone for what this album is, and that's something a little bit different. It's moody, like you said, it's dark, but it's still melodic, and it's powerful, and it has energy and emotion, and I think this song does all of those things. What it doesn't do is make any fucking sense.
Wow, F-bombed it out.
I have to. I've been thinking about this all day. Like, you gotta make me understand. Is this about? And again, when I get frustrated about these things, I just want to remind you out there that I love this album. I love it. Okay, I love it, but I don't get it. And you also have to understand that me in 1997, 98. Did not care about any of these words. Why? because I didn't have them. I didn't have the words. I didn't know what they were. I didn't have the internet in 1997 to even look them up.
They weren't
So
in
I
your
was
CD booklet?
flying blind. No, dude, they weren't there. I don't remember them being there. I'll go down and look, but
Ed, he doesn't want you to know his words.
no. And what I thought were the words were definitely not the words now that I can see them here on Spotify. So my mind has been blown through doing this with this album because now I know what he's trying to say. But is this about a hunter? Is he a hunter? Is he's skinning deer? And
Chris, I hope that when you pose these questions to me, you're not looking for definitive answers, because I do not fucking have them. I read along with the lyrics and I agree they're difficult to decipher. Even if you can see what he's saying, I don't know exactly what it is he's saying.
I feel like he's trying to tell us a story or something, but I feel like there's a ton of missing parts. It's like giving me a book with 15 missing chapters. And then I'm expected just to figure out what he's talking about. So I'm not frustrated. I just don't understand. I don't understand what it is he wants us to do here. And, in another place, in another time, I'd be driving trucks, my deer. I'd be skinning hunted deer.
But isn't that deer is spelled DEAR? Isn't it that hunted deer? At least it was on the lyrics I looked up.
I think there's a lot of double entendres here.
And then the next time where he says just the word deer, that's DEER. So I'm confused.
I mean, the bottom line is this song could mean nothing. It could just be about the fact that he likes to hunt and fish, and he's singing a song about it. Because there's a lot of lakes in York, and there's a lot of things to do outdoorsy out that way. So how do we know he's not an outdoorsman?
I'm trying to think if there's rattlesnakes, but it seems like he is afraid of rattlesnakes.
Yep. So if any of you, and I'm opening this up to the greater High School Never Ends audience, and I know there's a lot of opinions out there, and I know there's a lot of people that know about this album. And if you do not, listen along so you can help me. We need to fill in these gaps of knowledge, or I will not be able to sleep. Just keep that in mind throughout this whole episode. You have to help me. Okay? So that's Rattlesnake. Anything else on this song, Steve?
No, let's go to the juice.
Let's go to the juice. Let's go to the juice.
Loki's juice.
I'll save all the question marks on this song because there's a ton of them. There's a ton of them on this song, but the music is straight fire on this one. Like I already kind of gushed about the fact that the first couple riffs that you get in this song just hit like that, just that dark, just grimy riff that you get over and over again. Then Ed's voice comes in kind of crackly, but it's just right for the tone of the song. It was an evening I spent with the sun. Sorry, I forget lyrics.
Shared.
It was an evening I shared with the sun. Like that. That was amazing, that lead in there. And that doesn't stop throughout the entire song. Like you get that same riff throughout the whole thing. It changes and shifts and speeds up sometimes. But for the most part, like this song is steady. It's powerful. It has such a interesting chorus. It's the "Let Me Ride, Burn My Eyes, Let Me Ride." Like it's very simplistic, but the way that he again delivers it, and we have to understand also that you mentioned the point about Ed Kowalczyk and his demeanor with the band. Like I don't, nothing against the rest of the band, because these guys make some really good music and I'm sure they all have parts in writing different things. But if you don't have Ed Kowalczyk's voice singing these songs, like he is what you identify this band with. Would you disagree? Like you can't do live without Ed Kowalczyk.
I don't disagree. They did do live without him, but obviously they came back to him.
And maybe there's a singer that can do something unique and extravagant, and it would sound cool too. But at the heart of what this band is, you need that unique weirdness, that just whatever Ed Kowalczyk has, that's live, and he does that in the song. That's the music. I'm a fan. I'm all here for it. But man, oh man, what in the world are we trying to sing about here, Steve?
Well, I mean, I looked up Lakini, that is the tantric goddess, and I watched the video, and it kind of looks like an audition for a porn set film. There are different ladies in their underpants, and they're hugging on a bed, and they have numbers on their underpants, and I guess somebody, I don't think it's Ed, but somebody is cuddling with them, I guess. I think
Oh
it's
no, he's there somewhere. I think he's like
watching
watching.
in the background, yeah. I don't know, he's behind windows. He's in the room. He's just like observing, like real creepy, like. And this was the first single. I agree with you. I like the guitar chug. The guitar chug is real good throughout. The chorus, I mean, it's like 2 lines. I don't know if it's a chorus. They only do it a couple of times too. To me, like the transitions in the song are very slow. There are these slow parts where it's just kind of like tapping the hi-hat, and I don't know, I didn't really think that it helped the song. I do like there are some strings in the background at one point. I thought that was pretty cool. And basically it's like a 5-minute song. The last minute or so is just like a jam session. So I think it's okay. Again, it's not gonna, doesn't hold up to those other like real big live songs, but I guess this is one of the bigger ones for this record.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, I do. I think it does definitely hold up, and I guess you don't like that slow down, I'm too afraid. You don't like that part, like the kind of transitions into the Let Me Ride part. You don't like the slow down there?
There are not the words slow down. I think between some of the verses, like the transition, like the music kind of slows down when they stop with that guitar chug and they're just tapping that hi-hat. I think that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the music kind of goes a little high there, and I know what you're talking about. Look, I think that they're trying to go for like this weird, like Eastern sound in a lot of these songs, and I think that's kind of mixed in, kind of goes with the whole like Samadhi, like Hindu, and that's that type of theme. I even read on Reddit a little bit on this or a little bit about this. I just typed in, what does Lakini's juice mean? And some people feel like this is a spiritual journey from Christianity to Hinduism. I don't know about that, but they said that Ed may have said something alluding to that at some point in time. I have no clue. You're right, Lakini is a Hindu goddess. I also read that Lakini's juice is something tied to pancreatic fluid. Do your research. I don't know more than that, but I read that. It has something to do with the chakras, and this chakra that's tied to Lakini is in the upper abdomen, which houses your pancreas, and the juice.
Then Lakini expels the juice.
Dude, I have no idea.
Expels the juice into the ladies' room, and then you take the water from the toilet and wash the feet.
Can you explain that to me? Like, what is that? So I rushed the ladies' room, took the water from the toilet, washed her feet, and blessed her name. What does it have to do with going into an orgy type room, or trying out for one?
I don't know. Maybe it's some sort of baptism by toilet water into a new cult or religion or something. I don't know. I don't recommend anybody take water from the toilet and wash any part of their body with it. I'd probably avoid that.
There was another thing that somebody pointed out that could be alluding to religion, and it was tied to the piece where he says, more wine, more skin. So they're saying that could be the body and the blood of Christ, that there could be a tie there. Again, I don't understand. The toilet water thing kind of threw me way off. I never got that. I sung
Maybe
it.
He's insatiable. He wants more wine. He wants more skin. He's drinking. He's banging.
He definitely is. Yes, he definitely is. And maybe that's what this song is about. Maybe it's just straight up about that. And we're just way off kilter here. But
maybe it's a new energy drink that he was trying to cultivate back in the late 90s. You know,
They should have.
Monster
Why
was
didn't
coming
they?
out. Red Bull, Lakini's Juice.
I would drink Lakini's juice. It sounds like Josta or something, like in that vein, doesn't it?
I don't know. I think of it as like a gross thing. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't sound right.
You don't like Lakini or the juice?
The juice, calling it juice, strange.
You don't like the word juice?
I mean, not in this context. Not a fan of it.
So you'd rather it be called apple juice?
It's like Lakini's jism or something like that. That's what I feel like the song is saying.
What if you called it orange juice?
I mean, that would be quite different.
I like
Juice
the song,
from a person and juice from a fruit. Different things.
Very true. Very true. Well, I'm still not going to back off my love for the track itself and the song and the music. I'm all for this track. This is what kind of pulled me in. But as we move on to the next one, Steve, Grays, I have opinions, but let's let you start this one off.
I don't have a whole lot to say about this one. In the beginning, it's just like it's real slow. It's real slow, and I think to me, listening to this album in its entirety, I find it to be a little boring. It doesn't really keep my attention all that much, and the chorus is kind of seems just like a basic cookie cutter live song. Nothing really stood out to me about this Grays song at all.
Okay, all right. Discord, I want to know if you feel the same. Obviously, you have your supporters, Wingman Steve. I'm sure that Punkish Dad's going to agree with you on this one.
And this isn't pop punk though, so I don't know where he would land on something like this.
I feel like he has an opinion on live. I know he does. So
We'll see.
If you're out there, let us know. But that's neither here nor there. Now, I will say this. This song confuses the hell out of me again. Okay. But there's something about this that definitely has a hook. I mean, so coming off of Lakini's Juice, this is definitely a different vibe, but the chorus here is the big hook for me because I thought, again, it came off as very, very melodic, very catchy. And it's one of those choruses, I think, that it's bigger than the rest of the song. The rest of the song is kind of slow. It is plotting, but the mellow verses set up the chorus. And I think that dynamic works. It keeps me interested. I think it's a good chill song after Lakini's Juice. And I don't think that this song would be good if it was, again, not for Ed's voice. There's a part in this that I forget where it's at. It's towards the end, maybe the last quarter of it, where he reiterates either a bridge, or I think it's a bridge, or maybe it's the reprise of the chorus itself. But he has kind of like a shakiness to his voice, and there's a shakiness to the guitar. It's really cool. It sounds really cool. But once again, I don't know what the deal is with this, and I'll say it. I'm going to say it again and again, but. Do you have any earthly idea what this song means? Is it just a commentary on humanity and the fact that we're here to like just mess up this entire earth? It doesn't matter about, anything else except for the fact that we come to the earth, we eat and mess things up, and then we're gone. Is that kind of what he's saying?
Yeah, I think there's some sort of religion and tying back to God, because he says people should not be afraid. The artist does figure eights. I would think the artist is probably God, right? But it'll stand the test of time. Will it stand the test of time, or will it rot like the mission that tried too hard? I don't know exactly what that's talking about. But then there's also the forget your mother. I don't know. I feel like it's something tied to religion, or I don't know, maybe he's an alien and he came to this earth to graze, and that's because we have a lot of, grass, and Ed found his place.
That's a good point. I have this book called Weird Pennsylvania. Have you heard of that book?
I think I have. I think I've heard of it. I couldn't tell you that I've read it.
I've read it. And there are a lot of stories from out, in middle Pennsylvania that are unexplained. So I wonder.
I mean, Signs, the movie Signs took place in Pennsylvania. I mean, every M. Night Shyamalan movie is Pennsylvania.
Yeah. I wasn't referring to maybe the 6th or 7th string M. Night Shyamalan movie, but I was trying to say that there is a potential that you're right about Ed and the rest of Live. But since he fired everybody, maybe not the rest of Live. Maybe they found him out. Maybe they were like, "Hey, man, why do you why do you take off your why? Are you have a mask on or something?" And he's like, "No," and he fired them.
Oh, you mean like when it was COVID time or something?
I don't know. No, not like a mask, but like his face is a mask. He's really an alien.
Oh, he's an alien.
What about the piece where they say something? A child gives you his shoes. Has your child ever given you her shoes?
She like throws them all over the place and leaves them in front of the door for us to clean up. But I've never been like given it as maybe like a gift or something like that. No.
I've cleaned up shoes off the ground.
Oh yeah,
many times
daily.
So yeah, I mean, again, I'm puzzled. So help me out there, please, because I don't understand. But I like the tune. I liked it better than Steve did.
Okay.
And so we go to Century. And
yeah.
Couple things here.
Remember me for centuries.
Different song.
Damn it.
Different song. This so I had some friends and we would listen to this album a lot, and I had this one friend that just hated this song like up and down because he had a little bit of a BO problem. So this song said, "I can smell your armpits."
He thought it was about him.
Didn't like it, but I did play this as I was refreshing my brain for the show. Played this for my son, and I literally just got a look after he continues to say, "This puke smells like beer." I'll tell you what, though. As weird as this song is, and I have a theory of what they're talking about. I think it's a pretty transparent theory. But as weird as this song is, I think it's actually pretty catchy. I think this song has something to it that hooks you. And I think maybe it's just like it's a little bit faster paced momentum in the song. It has a decent melody. It's easy to sing along with. It's catchy. The words are memorable. They definitely stick in your head. And the bridge, there's this bridge towards like the end where the guitar kind of riffs a little bit, and he gets, come on. You know, he's like, it goes into that at the end. It's really good. So catchy song. It has that shaky vocals and guitars I talked about in the last one. I would think it was that bridge part that has that shaky vocals and guitars. And, but yeah, I don't know. So I think that he's talking about Y2K. This is one I think I can explain, and I could not explain it up until like recently. So I think he's talking about Y2K and the fact that everybody at the time in 1997 was like, "Oh my God, this is going to be like this huge thing that all this stuff's going to happen, and people are scared and they have bunkers and all that stuff." But at the end of the day, it's just going to be another party that you wake up next to somebody who threw up, and you smell the puke smells like beer, and that person stinks, and it's just like another thing. Now, the line about "you stole my idea," I have no idea what he's talking about. So, Steve,
I like your train of thought, and I think that I could almost make that distinction and agree, but I just don't. So if this came out in February of 97, it was recorded in 96, I don't think people were worried about Y2K then.
But listen to the words everybody's anxious for the coming of the crisis, the collapse of the justice. I can smell your armpits.
It refers to something like that, but I don't think it's Y2K. It might be something political, or what was going on at this time in the war. Was the Iraq war over by 97 or 96? No, it was right in the middle.
I think so.
Wasn't that in the middle of it?
I thought
I'm not very good at
I
history.
can't remember. No, I don't remember.
I don't know. I mean, I honestly I like the sound of the song. I like the music. I like the vibe of this song, but the lyrics are just ridiculous. You know, the whole like this puke stinks like beer. I don't know. It just made it seem like it was a silly song, where maybe it could have been a song that didn't come off as silly.
But that's why I try to like say that maybe if you think about it, where it does have some more meaning than maybe just the topical, just nonsense, maybe it actually could be okay and not so silly. That's why That's why I'm going to stick with that, because I feel a little bit differently about this song now that I have that thought process.
Followers of Aldous are spinning with their mescaline. A man behind the altar screams, "You stole my idea."
Look,
is that Aldous Snow? No, that's before Aldous Snow.
I don't know. Here, let me look it up. Aldous.
Aldous Snow. Yeah, I'm famous for my sins.
Here, followers.
I'm sober. That's what that tattoo denotes. I'm just going to go on living my life.
Him.
Sorry, I just need to do an Aldous Snow impression.
How do you spell Aldous? ALDOUS. OUS. Okay, here we go.
It's the Chris Looks Things Up on the Internet segment.
Okay, Aldous Huxley was an English writer who was
Maybe search Aldous mescaline.
Was an English writer who was born a long time ago. He was known for his novel Brave New World, which depicts a future where humanity is dehumanized to achieve universal happiness.
The Doors of Perception is an autobiographical book written by Aldous Huxley, published in 1954. It elaborates on his psychedelic experience. Is that what you just said? Or did you say something totally different? I was looking something up myself and didn't listen to you.
Why would you do that to me?
Well, I liked my search term better. Aldous Huxley, okay. Yes. That's what it's got to be. It's his book. Because he was under the influence of mescaline, and he wrote
American
this book
Trip. Is that the book?
No, The Doors of Perception.
The Aldous Huxley's seminal book, The Doors of Perception, signal a crucial turn. Okay. The hallucinogenic drugs and direction of the... Okay. So,
Stephen Chris, look things up on the internet.
Well, look, I had no idea. This is opening worlds of just information that I'd never had in 30 years. So if you have a problem with that, ladies and gentlemen, then we can talk offline. But I need this. So let me have this, please. Let me have this. I didn't even know I didn't even know those were the words. I didn't hear that.
All you heard is this puke stinks like beer. That's all you heard when you probably heard this.
Know? How would a high school kid know what Aldous? If you're in high school and you know that, then fine. I guess you just know more than I do. But I did not. But this song is something else.
I'm looking for my other shoes. Not this, its partner. Not the evil version of it,
Let's move on to Go. Steve, thoughts?
Oh man, I find myself laughing at how silly the song sounds. What the fuck is this guy talking about? And he sounds so serious. So serious. The boy loses rib in New Orleans. He can't help I can't even sing the tune. I don't know it well enough. He can't help eyeing up the whores under the bridge. Boy loses rib, lets a hellified cry into the dark. Where did I go wrong? What the fuck are you talking about? I don't know. That's all I got. Parts of this song are real slow, and it just seems like 6 minutes and 19 seconds of nonsense. That's all I got.
Bro, look a little bit deeper into it though. This was a skip in my younger years. I would skip this one because I wasn't a fan of the pace. Like this song is incredibly just floaty, and I think it's for a reason, right? He wants you to get that feeling, that ghostly, just apparition-ic feeling. That's not a word.
Interesting, the ghosts.
But yeah, the lyrics, some of it's everybody has a dream. Everybody has the dream, like a world tattoo. Yours is not like mine. It's all right. Keep it up. I don't know. I don't know what that has anything to do with ghosts. Good doctors never leave a scar. Look, man, sometimes these guys may just fill in with lyrics that mean something to them that we have no idea. We'd have to ask Ed Kowalczyk. I don't think he's going to be on our show. We could try someday. I don't know if he would.
He would have to headline. We'd have to be like, "Welcome to High School Never Ends," and then he would be like, "I'm Ed Kowalczyk."
We could.
I'd say Man Steve, and you'd say Crispin 83.
I'd be cool with that. You could say, "Okay, Ed, it's Chris, it's Steve," and then you say Ed, and then he would. And for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. But that's funny. It's funny to us.
He would be like, "No. Yeah. We say Ed. I say Ed first."
So the reason why I think this song is better than maybe what you think it is, and where did I go wrong back in 1997 for skipping this one is I feel like there is something with the choruses that really draw you in. The power that goes into the music that comes from the choruses for me is something that I look forward to in this song. So I can get through the verse and it helps me get to that chorus. And I don't want to make it feel like I'm suffering through the verses because I'm not. Sometimes when you have a good chorus, the verses that maybe you didn't like before sound a little bit better. And so to me, that's what's going on here. And I also like the fact that the choruses get a little bit stronger as he repeats them throughout the song. So as you get to the last one, it's like an explosion of the same thing with a ton of power in his voice that, where did I go wrong? Like it's sung at a 10 versus maybe that first time around it was sung at like a 4, maybe a 5. And I like that. And I think that kind of adds to the excitement, to the enjoyability of the track itself. So even though, again, if I could see where you're coming from, I was that guy. This song grew on me over time, and now I can say that I'm a fan. But yes, I have no idea what he's talking about other than a ghost. But boy loses rib as he's summoned to the mud flat on his back. What's that mean? Does that mean that means when you die, right?
Boy loses
summoned,
rib. I guess
summoned to the mud.
Didn't Adam give his rib to Eve? Is that he's not a boy? I'm just trying to find something to grab onto here.
Somebody lost this kid lost like all his ribs. Like you can't live that way.
Yeah, he lost a lot. Too many ribs.
I don't know. Like I kind of figured you would go that route, but I'm okay with it because I can relate.
Well, you wait till my comments on the next song.
Well,
Unsheathed.
Yeah. This isn't one of my favorite ones. I'll tell you right now. Like I don't know if I can sit here and defend this one other than it's just so weird and different. They do like all this different stuff in this track with effects, and then there's like a really hard part to it where he starts talking about what I believe is an anti-hippie message, but maybe not. Maybe that's just one lyric. I don't know. Like it has all these different effects and shifts in the tempo and the sound. He drops an F-bomb. I don't think we've done that yet here. And then there's a ton of come-ons. And that's not a whoa-oh, but it's a come-on.
Different.
And, that's different, but it's very 90s. So actually, it's probably very many different decades. I do think this song gets better as it goes on, though. I like the fact that it definitely builds in power, and that helps it, in my opinion. But I mean, we could talk about the fact that I again don't understand anything about this. I tried. I thought maybe this was like a political commentary, but is it? Is it? What's unsheathing? Is this something to do with? I mean, what do you unsheath? What do you take out of its sheath? A sword?
Sheep?
No, an unsheathing is when it's like you take
take out a sword
off of something, and because
What
the
do you do to
blade is
sheep?
not ready to
Shear
cut
them?
its dull from our thinking. But what is he talking about? What are we unsheathing?
Dude, I have no idea.
It's love, is what he's saying. He says, "Behold the unsheathing, it's love. It's love. Behold the unsheathing, it's love." So, free love is a knife through the jugular vein, son. Yeah, free. So, again, he goes into this commentary, dude. I don't know, but he's saying that they're unsheathing a sword that's actually love. So, love is a sword that cuts.
Love
But
is a
it's
knife.
dull. But it's dull because of hippies.
Them hippies, man.
Do you have anything to say about this one?
I have, for somebody that maybe didn't listen to this one, I'm just going to explain the Wingman Steve pared down version of this.
You didn't
Ready?
listen to this one? You serious? You didn't listen to this one?
Oh no, I listened to it. I'm saying for people like you don't need to listen to this one. Snooze Fest, 5 seconds of rock, reverb, chaotic section, Moroccan guitars, F-bomb, song over. That was it.
Yeah. I mean, I would probably give a little bit more than that. I mean, I don't know.
That's all I had.
You, yeah, I could see where you,
Unsheathed.
You also have to realize that some of these songs, I've been listening to this album for, again, just short of 30 years. So definitely grows on you a little bit more than maybe it would you.
It could. It could. Maybe if I was, listening to it back then and got into it, but I did not. So I
still don't love
into
this.
it fresh.
But I still don't love this song. So this one grew on me a little bit, but probably as much as it could. I probably would skip this song too. Ghost in the Sheath. This was my kind of low point of the album.
All right. Does Insomnia and the Hole in the Universe kick it up for you?
It certainly does.
How do you kick your feet to sleep?
I would love to know. This is a question that I had for you.
How do you kick your feet to sleep? Because this is a theme of the song. A lot of times, his brother kicked his feet. Does that mean? Does that you kicked your foot so many times that it went numb, like pins and needles? Went to
Is this
sleep
a
that
song
way?
about? Is this a song about the love of feet?
Well, he mentioned feet in the other song too, about the toilet water and the virgins or whatever baptism. I don't know.
Well,
he could be a foot guy.
He washed her feet with women's bathroom toilet water.
Yes, there you go.
Why not use the men? By the way, why are we not using the men's bathroom toilet water? What's the difference?
No, that's gross, man.
Why is it? It's still toilet water.
Yeah, no, that's just wrong, Chris. How could you even imply that?
What about Porta-John? There's no water in that.
Please don't use that quote unquote water. There was water in the Porta-John's forkward after it rained down.
Okay, so I don't know. I wish we could take a poll. What water would you use if you were in a jam to wash somebody's feet? Men's room water or women's room water?
You know what I think about a lot sometimes is when my time is up and I go to the beyond if the Angels are going to have some bagels in the oven for me.
I mean,
and if they're not bagels from New York, then I'm going to be pretty pissed off because New York has the best bagels, bar none.
I thought New Jersey had better bacon, egg, and cheese on a bagel.
New Jersey is close second. New Jersey is respectable.
Maybe you should ask your brother. You have a brother, I know, because he's been on the show. How he kicks his feet to sleep, because the lyric is my brother kicked his feet to sleep. So you could ask your brother that question.
And so I would be singing the dirge song.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A dirge is a somber song or lament expressing mourning or grief, like one would do at a funeral, Chris.
That's really creepy.
That's a dirge song.
So
you're singing a somber song. I'm singing a somber song expressing my mourning or grief while my brother kicks himself until he falls asleep.
The Swami is also in this one, and he has sweet feet.
The little Swami. What the fuck is going on, Chris? What
sweet
the fuck
feet
is going on? And doesn't the chorus sound the same like Rattlesnake? The chorus sounded very similar.
I like this chorus. I like the tune. I like the melody in this one.
Okay.
Dude, I'm in on this song. I love it. I don't understand the feet. I'm not a feet guy. I hate it. I don't like that part. But if you separate yourself from that completely, sometimes you have to compartmentalize yourself from these types of things. And this is what I do when I listen to this, because I really like the tune. I don't want to leave this tune in the dust because of the feet. I want to be okay with it. So I do it.
How do you feel about anal tight ass soldiers?
Once again, I probably sung this without saying that for 25 years. I don't even know I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, bagels in the oven? You already said that.
Bagel in the oven, bro.
Hey, go listen to this song, everybody, and weigh in because we're stumped. I think this one. I think we finally got stumped. I think we're stumped. I like the music. You'll enjoy yourself. Trust me. You'll like the tune, but you need to help us again with the understanding of what this means.
Yeah, I'm a little stumped.
Maybe we
on
shouldn't
a lot of this.
look this deep into these songs. Maybe that's our problem. Like maybe these aren't meant to be looked into this deep.
Well, then what are we going to talk about on a podcast?
I don't know. I mean, we're going to,
Right.
but I'm just saying maybe he definitely is unhappy with the fact that we're doing this. So we're going to get a letter. But
Do not. What do you call? Whatever.
cease
Moving
and
on.
desist.
There you go. Cease and desist.
Look, this next track is called "Turn My Head." Steve, you can kick this one off.
We're talking about being drunk on juices again. I'm falling
He
down.
does bring
drunk
back the juice.
on
Yes,
your juices. Drunk on your juices.
you don't like that. You don't like the juices.
I don't mind it. It's just it seems overly sexual, which I guess, Ed with his bald head, he's just he's a sexual dude. He's in these orgies, drinking lakinis, ball sack juice, and all this stuff. I don't know.
There's never, ever even a reference to ball sacks.
I'm really surprised that this was actually a single. You said you heard this on the radio?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. This one was just boring to me.
Oh, you kidding me?
I
Seriously?
found this to be quite boring. Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. What's not boring about it?
I mean, it's a great ballad. I love
Is it?
this song. Yeah.
Or any there is Lightning Crashes isn't a ballad, is it?
No.
Is that a ballad?
No,
Oh.
it's their formula though. It's like it's slow, but then it builds and then it's big. This one kind of does the same thing, but I think it's so on that. It's a little bit further onto that ballady side for the majority of it. I'd call it a ballad, but man, I mean, this melody is amazing. I love this song. I don't want to steal your thunder because you're still talking, but
No,
love
I'm not.
this song.
I'm done talking. Go ahead.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised that you didn't like this one, or actually, you definitely dislike this as much as you do.
I'm not saying that I'm spewing hatred at it. I just found it boring.
This is one of the songs that I would play over and over again, for sure. And this was not just liked by me; it was liked by a lot of the people in my friend circle, and male and female both. I did not know that the lyric is turn my head. It's aimed at you. Turn my head. That makes it a little creepy, but I did not know that, so I'm okay with it. But maybe I just like that. It's that melody, that I'm bad at singing when I can't hear the tune, but it's not a violin. Is there a violin? Or maybe it's not just guitar. There's other things going on here that make it sound a little bit more dreamy. There's other instruments that are kind of adding to those layers of how this song kind of floats. And I really, really, really think that works great. So the fact that you may think it's boring, I don't know. Like I don't get that at all. I think that I think it has power. I think it has emotion. All day these bastards are leaving. Somebody's go and stay. Whatever we called you is just a name. That's where it kind of gets real big. And then you have that guitar solo, and then it comes back into the chorus. I love all that. Like this song to me is just amazing. So huge fan. Give it another shot.
All right, maybe I will. Let's keep it going here. Hero Psycho Dreamer. I like the bass in this one a lot. I think it gives it a really cool vibe, the pace to it. The chorus is a little lacking a bit. Hero, dreamer, hero. And overall, I think the lyrics are a little lacking overall, but overall, I think this one is quite listenable. I think this one rocks a bit. I like the Hero Psycho Dreamer.
Yeah, you're right. This one does this to me it kicks ass for a lot of different reasons that you already kind of mentioned. That bass line to me is amazing. It kind of carries the song. The lyrics are a bit dark, for sure. It's you can go look them up yourself. I'm not going to necessarily.
What's a
sing them.
balladeer?
I
I fell in love with a balladeer.
Is that like the deer in that first in the first song?
I don't know. A balladeer?
Okay, so you're looking it up. Okay.
What's a balladeer?
I saw
A
your
singer
tongue.
or a composer of ballads. So he fell in love with a singer.
Yeah, maybe who could he have fallen in love with? Like, who does ballads a lot? Adele?
Not in 1997.
I don't
Celine
know.
Dion.
Yeah, Celine Dion. Maybe that's who this song is about. I saw your tongue. It licked my heart.
He doesn't mean queer in like a bad way, right? He's not being like derogatory, is he?
I mean, do you feel like Ed Kowalczyk is a guy to just say something that's literal? Because I guarantee you it's not.
Well, I would say queer has a couple of different, meanings. There's the old time, it means like odd, they call like that's queer. It's funny. There's a there's a Stephen Lynch song where he talks about that. He wants to bring back queer. That's queer. Like, that's odd. Not like a negative person or a negative sentiment about somebody.
I mean, this could be commentary on social anxiety at the time of I don't know. Like dude, I just like the music here. I don't really know about what he's trying to say, but I agree with you. I think this one rocks, outside of whatever the message is, and that's what I'm going to go with, and that's where I'll stay. It's not that this one makes little sense, because you probably could find your way through it in a lot of different ways, but I'm just going to leave that one where it is and move on to the next track, which is called Freaks. I am surprised you did not hear this on the radio, because they did play this a lot.
No, I definitely did not.
And it also had
I would have remembered
a video.
this one.
It's a commentary on like Jerry Springer and that sort of thing. So that's what it is. So this one actually makes a little bit more sense in that, he's just kind of talking about those shock talk shows and that sort of thing. In the late 90s, that was all the rage. It's a fine song. I never really thought that it stood out. It did grow on me over time. At first, I did not like this song at all, and I would skip it every time. But it definitely grew on me a bit. I think it does some cool things. I don't really like the chorus though a ton. I think that's kind of boring-ish. But I could see where people could get into it. This is probably I guarantee you that people that are fans of this band, I bet you this is in like, their top 5 for sure. So
You know why you say that? It's because your sperm is weak.
Is that a lyric here?
That is a lyric here, yes. Your sperm is weak.
That's not true. We're not going to get into that though. But
Chris has fathered 3 children. That's definitely not true, but I just wanted to throw
2 of them being twins, so I think that's
extra
mic
powerful.
drop. That's mic drop right there.
To me, honestly, like I find his voice with some of these lyrics, like it's comical. Like I kind of laugh when I hear this song. It kind of sounds like a jam poem, and it reminds me of like My United States of whatever. It's like, if someone goes around you with the round papers that you picked up from a line of downtown Philadelphia, cigarette hanging out, you little fucker. Like it really makes me think of My United States of whatever. So to me, like,
what's that? What is that?
You don't know that My United States of whatever?
No.
By Liam Lynch. It was from one of those comedy shows. This is My United States of whatever. I went down to the tent and I saw Kiki and I was like, yeah, whatever.
Oh, that. Ugh.
That's what this reminds me of.
You like that?
I didn't say I liked it. I said this is what it reminds me of. I got a kick out of that because I thought it was silly.
Yeah, I think
was it from Mr. Show? I forget what it was from. It was from something that everybody knows.
Whoops.
Uh-oh.
My mic went off for a second.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, to me, this song's just funny. I think it's funny. I don't think it's a great song. I just think it's kind of funny. I liked listening to it because it was silly.
I can't say that he's not doing that on purpose, though. I feel like he's making those voices because he's drawing a commentary on something that's ridiculous. So, potentially he's acting ridiculous, singing ridiculous, because that's just how he feels about these things. That's the only thing I can think there.
labor thing at the end. I don't know.
Yeah. He's a weird dude that does weird things. It's probably what the long and short of it is here. So.
Oh, balladeer, like a person who makes ballads. I get it now.
Yeah.
There we go.
What? Why don't we go back? Oh, we're back to that.
No, it was still on my screen. I was Xing it out, and then it just hit me, so I had to say it.
I didn't know that was a term.
Me neither.
Did you know that?
No, that's why I had to look it up.
Yeah.
Now it makes sense.
Next time we have a guest on the show that plays music, let's ask them if they know what that means.
Okay. Who's your favorite balladeer?
Yeah. Do you consider yourself a balladeer?
Depends how many ballads he or she may have written.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. If we have Celine Dion on the show, we could ask her that.
Oh, she's a balladeer for sure.
So listen,
Not from America though.
America, who did Freaks? Was that you or me?
I don't remember.
Okay, so I'll do this one. I love this song. I love this one. I think it has a great chorus. It has a really cool twang to it. I can't stand country, but that's not the twang it has. I think that it has a really cool melody. It continues. It stays exciting throughout the entire song, and it's just so weird. Again, though, like what does it mean that America's dropped her load? I mean,
Juices.
Dude.
It's a weird lyric. Strange thing to say.
But again, I love this song so much that I don't care about the fact that he's talking about dropping loads. I don't even know if that's what he's talking about. This could be about war. I'm thinking maybe that's what it is. I'm thinking he's talking about a soldier or war or something more so than just, hooking up. I mean, do you feel a certain way about that?
About war or about
no, about the fact that he's talking. So my head's in the ground. I can't make a sound. Does that mean that he died? I don't.
Or is that like your head being in the ground, like an ostrich, like ignoring things around you?
Yeah, but so looks like America's dropped her load. She tried to call me on the telephone. Everything is fine now. The baby's here. She'll have to handle this on her own. Are they talking about going to war? And I don't want to hear it. Like, I want to be away from this conversation. Like, he's not a political guy. He doesn't care what, it's happening with all of these things. He wants to be separated from it. Could that be it? Because I don't think it's about banging anybody.
I think it's more about like a politician. So 96, who was that? Clinton?
Bush. Clinton? Yeah.
I think that was Clinton. So it looks like America's dropped her load. Try to call me a telephone. Everything is fine. Now the baby's here. She'll have to handle this all on her own. Maybe he was trying to say something about who is in power, that he didn't agree with them, and it's some sort of political statement.
The priest, I can't make a sound. The priests were all stoned. California was in my mind, and the love was a game that we played. Dude, I have no idea.
No.
I'm stumped. If this were trivia and a quiz show, we would have lost.
I don't know who would have won, other than Ed himself.
I mean, we'd be like, "Hey, how's that table over there winning?" And then somebody would move, and it would be Ed Kowalczyk sitting at the table.
The livers.
Yeah. But I love this track for all the reasons. Musically, this track is amazing to me. I don't know. It sounds like you don't care. It sounds like you're not really as into it as I am.
I mean, this kind of got that country rock. I know you called out my terminology for country rock last week.
I asked you one question.
This is one
question.
This is
country rock. I called you out.
I guess that's what they're going for here. A little like Rust Belty kind of sound. I don't know. Do they want this to sound like "Ain't That America"? Like, are they trying to do something like that? I didn't think this was a good song.
Okay, that's fine. I think it's great.
I mean, they said the chorus is good. My head's in the ground. I can't make a sound. My head's in the ground. That's the chorus.
But yeah, I think that, okay, so you said this before about some other choruses that were very simplistic. Do you feel like as a whole, overarching or simplistic chorus is not good? Is that what you're saying?
Only when it fits my narrative.
Bro.
Like 2 songs ago, I said I like the simplistic chorus.
Okay, so we have to talk about the gas head, spelled H-E-D. And I have some thoughts here. but why don't you start things off?
I have very little thoughts on this song. By the end of the album, I was a little bit fatigued. I can't say that I was paying too. I listened to it a bunch of times, but the song just didn't stick out in any way to me. Does it stick out to you? I didn't have
Yes.
too much. Sometimes this happens with like the last track on an album that you don't know, and if it's an album that you do know, you might like love the last track and you're so into it. But if you don't know it, I don't know. Didn't really do that much for me.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I know it, and I skipped to this track.
You skipped to it, okay?
I skipped to this track because I think this track is amazing. I think it's just the song as a whole. So it starts off very slow, very plodding. It's like he's opening up a storybook and he's telling you about travels, about his journey through this album. He even ties it back to he's the only one that let me ride. And that's tying back to Lakini's Juice, which I popped big for. Like, I thought that was great. I always love that, right?
Okay.
When there's continuity between. And the fact that this song has such an amazing melody in the verse, and then that transition to the chorus is just it's the best that I've heard on this album. Like, to me, this song might be like just tops on this album because of everything it gives you. It gives you the slow, it gives you the highs, the lows. It has an amazing, guitar melody. It's kind of just like a simplistic acoustic feeling about this person that he's talking about, the gas head, which for everything in my being, I have no idea what that means. Is that a thing? Is that like somebody that drives a lot, or
A gas head?
What's
I
a
have no
gas
idea.
head?
HED? I have no clue because they point that out in the spelling.
It's the gas head's love of America. Is it just somebody like gets in the car and like just travels places and is like a,
I don't know if you Google gas head HED, this song comes up. So there's, I don't know.
when they lanced his skull, there was pus and light. This must
I
be.
got some info.
Let's hear it.
Let me see here. Gashead is a term they have created to describe a man that follows his own path and holds his morals despite the world's pressures. The song is also drawing comparison to the fact that it's his humble internal memories that drive him, and he does not project out. He does not project outward accomplishments for validation or recognition, and as such, they would die for him. Yeah, I don't know if that. I don't know if that was grammatically correct, but I think you got it.
Okay, so that's pretty surface. I think then if you kind of just listen to the song, you can pull that particular explanation from it. Because they say things like, it's the memory that dies, so take your photographs back. Maybe that's talking about everybody around you that's taking photographs of you, but the real memories are what you have inside of you. That's the real feeling. That's the realness of life. For the love of all gods, our gas head marches on. He loves everything. Like, it's not just one thing, it's everything around him. But I don't care about any of that. I'm just into the music on this one and the lyrics and Ed Kowalczyk and the way he delivers it. I just think that there's no better mix that you can get, and this song is a culmination of that. So big fan of this one. I would implore you to give this one a couple more listens. You might think differently.
I'll give it a shot.
Well, Steve, we did it. We got through this album in a decent amount of time.
Secret Samurai.
This is Secret Samadhi.
Oh yeah.
This album itself is 53 minutes. So it really isn't that short, 12 songs. There's a lot of content here. Again, this is maybe not for everybody, but if you're a fan of this band, I would highly encourage you, if you haven't listened to it, to listen to it. But we can get into that in just a second, because right now we're going to move directly into Ranking It. If this is your first time listening to High School Never Ends, Ranking It is our segment where we rank our top 3. We should change that to another number, but for today we're not. Top 3 songs on the album Secret Samadhi by the band Live that came out in the great year of 1997. Steve, I know that there were not a lot of songs on here that you loved. So I am very, very curious to hear what your top 3 in order will be.
Yeah, I have a top 3. It was kind of tough because, I don't know. I feel like these type of alternative rock albums and listen, thanks for picking something that wasn't just easy, right? Throwing Copper would have been easy. There's like, we know the whole album from the radio, and there's a couple other songs or whatever. It would have been fun to talk about, but you wanted to throw something a little different at me. And it's tough, I think, for something like this, for somebody who likes pop punk, but I also like alternative music. It's kind of tough to really get into it in like a week, 2 weeks that we had to kind of prepare for the episode. It didn't hit me too hard as an album that I loved, but I came up with 3 songs that I'm gonna give my ranking it to. Gonna give number 3 to Lakini's Seaman. That's number 3. That chugging guitar, really really good. Number 2, I'm gonna go with Hero Psycho Dreamer. And number 1 is Rattlesnake. I think the first track on the album is my favorite. I liked it a lot because it kind of reminded me of that other Live that I already knew. And maybe if I listened to this a whole bunch of times for 25 years, 30 years, whatever it is, maybe I'd like it a little more. But I'm glad you like it. Hopefully other people do too. I'm curious to see if other people are like, hey, I never listened to this. Or they're like, Steve, were you crazy? I listen to all those songs. So I don't know. We'll see what the people say.
Alrighty. Well, I had a hard time with this because I actually had 4 versus 3, and I have a hard time.
Oh my God, are you going to break your own rule?
I'm not.
Do it.
I'm not. We're going to give you 3. We're going to give you 3. So I got to go. Man, okay. I got to give Turn My Head number 3. I got to go that way. I feel a certain way about this song. I told you that. It's one of those ballads that lives, what do the kids say, rent free in my head. Actually, the adults say that too.
Good use of slang.
Number 2, ooh, oh man, I'll tell you what, the beginning of this album is very, very strong. Got to go with the Toilet Water, Steve. We're going to go with Lakini's Juice. I think it edges out Rattlesnake. I agree. Rattlesnake is very, very, very good, but for some reason, Lakini's Juice just has another special kick to it that Rattlesnake does not have. And then I got to go with Gashead Goes West as my number 1 song, man. I'll tell you what, like, I forgot about this one per se, and then when I listened to this album again, I remembered it all over again. And why I love the song so much. So Gashead Goes West is my number 1. But these 3, I will reiterate, are so close. They could go in any order. And Rattlesnake could be in there. Century could be in there. Hero Psycho Dreamer could be in there. America could be in there. I'm all over this album. Again, I've had more than 20 years listening to this versus your couple weeks. So I've had a lot of time to think about it and a lot of time to really enjoy what Live did in their follow-up to Throwing Copper. So that said,
I have a couple questions for you, though.
Well, that's what I was going to get into the discography, but let's hear them. Let's go.
Well, I had 2 questions. That's kind of one of them. First is we're going to play my game. So I'm going to ask you a question. I looked up a Live set list from last year, and we saw them, 5 or 6 years ago. So I don't know if you remember. But the question is, out of a 14-song set list, which tracks, how many and which tracks from this album made the cut?
Let me just do the guess. So I think that they did Freaks. I think they did... I want to say they did Lakini's Juice and... Turn My Head.
Well, you were almost there. They did 2 songs from this record, and they were Freaks, and Lakini's Juice actually closed out their set, like right before the encore, closed the show pre-encore. So 2 songs from this made their 14-song set.
So you're saying I should have just stopped, basically.
You could have just stopped, yes.
Well, okay.
And I guess the other question is, as a live fan, is this your favorite album? Do you like Throwing Copper better? I mean, there's no denying that Throwing Copper is a really good album with a lot of very strong songs that were hugely popular. And then you mentioned that you listened to one maybe before and maybe two after this one.
Mhm.
So would you put this one tops? I mean, you seem to like it a lot.
Not maybe, for sure. I own The Distance to Here. I own, whether you call it V or 5, I own that. And that's it. I don't own Mental Jewelry. And I do not own Birds of Prey. But yeah, I this is my favorite. Man, it's...
By the way,
it's,
Birds of Prey, anyone listening, is Pray, like praying, not prey like a bird of prey. So it's a play on words.
I don't know. That's a tough one because, Throwing Copper... Oh, man, you asked me 5 times, I might give you 5 different answers. Oh man, I'm looking at Throwing Copper again, and there's so many good songs on this.
Like Shittown. With an E. Shittown had an E at the end of the word town. Who the hell knew that?
I'm gonna go with Throwing Copper. I'm gonna go with that being the best. I don't think I can sit here and say it's not, but this has a special place in my heart too. So I think that it's 1A. We'll call it 101A, and it's a cop out, but we're gonna go Throwing Copper, and I'm sure that's where you're gonna go too.
I don't know that I'm educated enough on the entire discography to really give an opinion, but I definitely like Throwing Copper better than this one. So I would probably let it take that spot.
I want to be edgy. I want to say, oh no, like Secret Samadhi. And look, I just can't. I got to go Throwing Copper. We got to do it.
All right. Throw that copper to the wind. And you did it.
Yeah. So I had a blast, guys. Hopefully, again, if you're not familiar with the band live, go get familiar. Go listen to the music. If you've already listened to the show, that's fine. We actually really like it when you listen to the show. But go back and listen to the album if you haven't. And then maybe listen to the show again. Give us 2 listens. Or listen to us, listen to the album, and then give us your feedback. We love that even more. And there's a couple different ways you can do that. And Steve's going to tell you about that in just a second. But we also really like it when you support our show, and you can do that in one of 2 ways. Number 1, you can go onto Apple Podcasts, give us a written review. And if you really like the show, give us a rating. I love 5-star reviews for sure. Either way, it definitely supports our show. And the second way is go to our shop and buy some swag. We got some really cool t-shirts. I'm wearing one right now. High School Never Ends. It has our logo. That's available on there in addition to some other cool stuff. You can get to our swag. You can get to our, not our Apple Podcasts, but you can get to our shop. Go to our hub, www.hsndpod.com.
Actually, you can get to Apple Podcasts through that link. There's through the website. There is a link to hit you up to the places to listen to us, because there's other places like Podbean and other ones that we don't even remember. So if you're listening to us on Podbean, thank you, and keep listening. Anyways, we are on all the socials at HSNEPod, like High School Never Ends Pod, Instagram, Facebook, and we have a Discord server. So go to the website and you'll find the link. It's a great place to chat in real time with us and a lot of our friends and listeners. And you can bring up live, you can bring up Bush, you could bring up Live Bush, you could bring up whatever you'd like. We are going to continue Alt-ober next week. Who knows what the album choice will be, because there's so many possibilities. I am not giving it away. Chris, thanks for picking this one. We'll be back with a new episode next week. Until then, keep on rocking your dad bods, throw up your rock hands, and blast the pop punk.
If you're enjoying this podcast or any podcasts on the Dragon Wagon Radio Network, be sure to check out the Dragon Wagon shop. You can tout your podcast pride while supporting your favorite indie podcast network. Make sure to check it often for new items and limited time designs. So shop now at dragonwagonshop.com. Get your dragon swag on.
It's Dragon Wagon.